Hello dear students, welcome back. So today here we are going to start a new chapter, that is general principles and processes of isolation of elements. General principles and processes and processes of isolation of elements, especially of metals. So you know, matter consists of elements. So elements are the building block of all matter, and among the elements, so these elements are classified into metals, non-metals and metalloids. So among the elements, 80% of the elements are metals, and metals are also important in our everyday life. So in this it requires for the isolation of elements, it requires the extraction of elements. So the different scientific and technical methods used for the extraction of metals from its ore, that is known as metallurgy. Simply this chapter shortly known as metallurgy. Okay, so metallurgy. So the scientific and technical processes used for the isolation or extraction of metal from its ore is known as metallurgy. So the technical or scientific method from which metal is extracted, that process is known as metallurgy. And this metallurgical these processes are different types. So before going this metallurgical process, let us first know how these metals are available, or what are the occurrence of these metals. Next come to occurrence of metals. Occurrence of metals. Okay. So in electrochemistry, you know activity series. So there are some elements which are very reactive nature, and there are some elements which are less reactive in nature. So the more reactive elements like sodium, potassium, magnesium, etc., they combine with oxygen, carbon dioxide or moisture of atmosphere or different non-metals to form to form different compounds. So these metals are generally found in combined state. But there are some metals which are less reactive. They do not react with the atmospheric oxygen or carbon dioxide or moisture or some non-metals to form compounds. And these are generally found in free state or in less combined state. So those metals which are less reactive and found in nature in free state, that are known as native metals. That are known as native metals. So examples are gold, silver, platinum, etc. So these are some metals which do not react with oxygen carbon dioxide, moisture, etc. to form compounds. So these are inactive metals. And there are some metals which generally reacts with the atmospheric oxygen, carbon dioxide, moisture and also different metals. They generally remain in combined form, that are known as combined state metals, or that are known as also minerals. That are known as minerals. So generally they remain in combined state of metals. So metals like sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, zinc, all these generally remain in combined states, but these elements they can remain in free states. Okay. So from these combined states, these metals are extracted. So the process by which these metals are extracted, that is known as metallurgy. That process is known as metallurgy. Okay. So there are some metals, there are some minerals from which metal can be extracted. So the minerals from which metal can be extracted economically and conveniently, that are known as ores. Okay. So generally metals exist in combined form. So the minerals from which metal can be extracted economically and conveniently. Economically and conveniently. So the mineral from which metal can be extracted economically, conveniently and profitably are known as ores. Are known as ores. For example, aluminium exists in different mineral forms, that is in bauxite form, Al2O3 dot 2H2O. This is bauxite. And another, it also remain in a clay form, that is there are clay form, cryolite, there are different minerals of aluminium. But generally aluminium is extracted profitably and conveniently from bauxite. In this way, bauxite is known as ore while clay is known as minerals. So this is known as mineral. So clay is a mineral while bauxite is ore. This is also mineral. Okay, so in this way, metals which exist in combined form, either in the form of oxides, sulfides, carbonates, hydroxides, all these are known as minerals. Okay, so metals which remain in combined form, like in oxides, sulfides, hydroxides, or halides, carbonates, all these are known as minerals. And the minerals from which metal extracted, that are known as your ores. In this way, all ores are minerals, but all minerals are not ores. Okay, so in this way, all ores are minerals, but all minerals are not ores. All ores are minerals, but all minerals are not ores. example, bauxite is an ore as well as mineral, but clay is generally a mineral. So from the silicate ores, the aluminium cannot be, from the silicate minerals, aluminium cannot be extracted easily. In this way, those are known as minerals, and from which metal extracted, that is bauxite, is known as ore. Let us look at examples of some minerals and ores of some common metals. Look here, there are some metals, they are minerals or ores of some metals and their composition. So aluminium, its chief ore is bauxite, and other minerals are cryolite and feldspar. Iron, hematite, magnetite, siderite, iron pyrite. This is the carbonate ore, these are oxide ore, this is the sulfide ore, but the chief ore is hematite. Here, this is the bauxite. Similarly, copper has copper pyrite, cuprite, azurite, and malachite green. But the chief ore is copper pyrite. Similarly, zinc has zinc blende, zincite, calamine, but the chief ore from which zinc extracted, that is zinc blende. Similarly, magnesium has dolomite, calamine, Epsom salt, like this, but generally extracted from dolomite. So in this way, there are so many metals and there are so many minerals, but here I have given only few common metals and their ores or minerals. Okay. Next, so the process by which this metal extracted. What are the processes? Next come to the processes of extraction of metals. So the process of extraction of metal generally takes place in 4 steps. In general, there are 4 steps of extracting metals. Okay, so generally 4 steps. 4 steps for this extraction of metals. First one, crushing and grinding. Next step, concentration of the ore. Third step, extraction of metal, and this also consists of 2 steps. One is oxidation and another reduction, and the 4th one is refining. So all these metals extraction generally takes place among these 4 steps, and this third step is 2 steps. Third step again of 2 steps. Let us discuss one by one the general principle. So first, crushing and grinding. So when the ore is available in the earth crust, generally these are found in large size in the form of lumps. So first, these are converted into small pieces with the help of a jaw crusher. So the large lumps of ores are converted into small pieces of about 4 cm to 5 cm cube. That is with the help of a jaw crusher, and then these small pieces are again converted into powder form with a stamp mill or ball mill. So the conversion of ore into this powdered form is known as pulverization. So this process is pulverization. So first, large lumps of ores are crushed with the help of whom? With the help of a jaw crusher. Small pieces, and after that these are converted into powder form with the help of stamp mill or ball mill. Okay, so first step is crushing and grinding. First crushed, then grinded to powder form. Next step is concentration of this ore. This is also called ore beneficiation. Next step, concentration of the ore. Concentration of the ore, also known as ore beneficiation. Okay, so whenever these ores are generally collected from earth crust, all these generally contains so many impurities, and the unwanted impurities present in the ore that are called gangs. So maximum gangs or impurities are removed by this process. So the process of removing maximum gangs or earthy impurities from the ore is known as concentration of the ore. So gang is the impurities. Gang are the unwanted impurities present. Unwanted impurities present along with the ore that are known as gangs, and the process by which these gangs are removed from this ore or maximum impurities are removed, that is known as the concentration of this ore. So this concentration of the ore that are various types depending on the nature of this metal. So there are different types of concentration process depending on the nature of the metal. For example, some common processes are, among them, some common processes are gravity separation, another magnetic separation, froth flotation, and another, that is leaching. So all these three are physical processes, but this is a chemical process. Okay, so gravity separation, this is also called hydraulic washing. This is also called hydraulic washing. So this process is generally carried out for that ores where the impurities are more lighter than that of the ore. So that is the specific gravity or weight of the impurity and ores are different. If the impurities are lighter than that of the ore, then gravity separation method is used. For example, for the purification of or concentration of hematite ore, iron ore, that is hematite, it contains some earthy impurities which are lighter than that of hematite. For that, gravity separation is used. So in this case, a transverse ridges are there and water is supplied to it so that the impurities are washed away. The impurities being lighter, that washed away with water, and the ores are remained in the transverse ridges. Okay, so from gravity separation, there should be some transverse ridges, and here this is slightly sloping and some transverse ridges and then and water is, so here ore is dropped into it. Here ore is dropped into it, and in this side water is passed through it. So in this way, as ore are dropped here, so being lighter, all these impurities are washed away from here, and ores are remaining in the transverse ridges. Ores remain in the transverse ridges. Okay, so in this way, this is the gravity separation method. Generally, this is used for that type of ore which contains the impurities which are lighter than that of the ore. Okay, so next comes to another process that is called magnetic separation. In magnetic separation, this method is used for that type of ore. This method is used for that type of ore where the ore and the impurities, they have different magnetic behavior. Either one of them is attracted by magnet and other is not attracted by magnet. Okay, so in this way, the pulverized ores are dropped on a belt, that is a leather belt or some metallic belt, which are rounded over two wheels. Okay, so in this way, in magnetic separation, so there are two wheels are there, and over it a metallic belt is there, which is generally non-magnetized, and one of the wheel is electrically magnetized. And when ores are dropped over it, so when ores are dropped over it, suppose this is magnetized wheel, and this is non-magnetized wheel, and this is belt is made of leather belt. This is a leather belt, or it may be made of brass like this. And when ores are dropped over it, and these belts are moving, so these are moved around two wheels. The belt is moved around two wheels, and these ores come here. And the ore or the impurities which are magnetic in nature, these are generally attracted by this. These are generally attracted by this magnetic wheel, and it forms, after rotating, after moving, it forms one hip. And here it forms the non-magnetized are thrown away and it remains in another place. So this is the non-magnetic substance and this is the magnetic substance. So magnetic substance and this is non-magnetic substance. So in this way, these ores are separated, these ores are concentrated. Okay, for example, when the calcitride, the silicon dioxide ore contains the tin dioxide ore, the stannous oxide contains impurities like iron tungstate and iron tungstate. Generally, this is attracted by magnet. This is the impurity, and this is the ore. Then, which are attracted by magnet, the iron tungstate is collected here, and stannous oxide ore collected here. Similarly, suppose ferrochrome is there, that is FeO and CrO3 is there. Suppose ferrochrome ore is there, it contains some earth impurities also. Then this magnetic substance, the ore collected here and the earth impurities collected here. In this same, this is known as magnetic separation method. In magnetic separation method, generally used for that type of ore where the impurity and the ore are differentiated by the magnetic behavior. Next come to another method that is called Froth flotation process. In Froth flotation process. Generally, this process is used for sulfide ores. This flotation process is generally used for sulfide ores, and this depends on preferential weighting. So this flotation depends on preferential weighting of ores and impurities. So the sulfide ores generally weighted by oils than that of water. So in this way, this is the ore along with some water. These ores and some water are taken in a tank. These are taken in a tank. And some air. So here ore are taken in a tank. So in flotation process, generally the sulfide ores are taken in a tank along with some water and oil like pine oil, and some stabilizers are also used, so that when compressed air is passed through it, it forms foam. So as it forms foam, so the foams being lighter, they goes up and these are collected in another container. These are collected in another container, and after some time, after settling, the ores are collected here. So in this way, flotation process is generally used for sulfide ore, and the impurities which are generally weighted by water, these are collected at the bottom of the container. So the impurities are collected at the bottom of the container, and the sulfide ores are collected in another container. These are being lighter than these impurities, these are collected here. So this is the flotation process and generally used for sulfide ores. Next, another process that is known as leaching, and leaching is a chemical process. All other processes are generally physical processes, but leaching is a chemical process, and generally this is used for that type of ore where the ore is soluble in a particular reagent or a particular solvent.